All right, so welcome back. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about how to do our textured torn press mold or drape mold. Essentially what a drape mold or a press mold is taking clay and pressing it either into or on the outside of a form. When we press on the outside, we call it a drape because we take that clay, we drape it over the top. When we do something that's a press mold, that's on the inside. So we're pressing that clay into that mold to create that form. Okay, so with this assignment, obviously there's a couple main things that we need to make sure that we understand, and that's a plastic bag is going to be insanely vital. If we were to try to press clay into this plastic or into a ceramic or into a glass bowl of some sort, it's going to get stuck. So we need a type of plastic barrier. You could use newspaper, you could use regular paper and tape it around the bowl. I just like using a plastic bag. Easy, quick, makes life simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap this bag around that bowl. Okay? That's going to give me a nice surface to work on and that clay won't get stuck. All right. Now the first thing with this is obviously getting supplies. So our textured torn press mold bowl is going to be a bowl that is going to be large and is going to contain textures around the outside. So what we'll do is we'll end up using those pieces. We're going to make pancakes and we're going to attach those around the outside of that bowl and create a really nice looking shape. Okay? So let me go ahead and show you some of the things that I got here on our table. All right. So what we have here is we obviously have our bowl with our plastic wrapped around it to ensure that we don't get any clay stuck, okay? That is huge. That is super important, okay? The next thing that we have here is I have a baggie of supplies that I gathered from home, okay? Now I got tree bark, I got some fake flowers, I got some tin foil, I got some evergreen bushes that I might try to press in. Okay, I got some wood chips that I can scatter around the clay. All that kind of good stuff. I got some nuts from, the garage. I got these skewers, which I might try to see what kind of texture I get out of. And as you can see, most of this stuff, it's all about experimentation, trying things and seeing what it looks like. Obviously, you want a texture that's going to look really interesting. Now, what is exactly texture? Texture is that stamping or design that's made into clay and creates raised and depressed surfaces in the clay. Okay, texture is huge in ceramics because when we have texture, we get that when we glaze that piece, that glaze will find its way into those textured areas and really create some awesome effects. Okay. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up start making pancakes in various sizes. I'm going to tear them, and then I'm going to attach them around the side. So I got my clay here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a hunk of clay. Okay. Doesn't have to be large. So I'll grab a ball of clay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this into the table, and I want this to try to be as even thickness as I can get it. I think a good thickness is about the thickness of a pen or a pencil, so about 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch is good. So I'll make my pancake, okay? And now what I can do is I can take something like the tree bark, and I'm going to hammer that into the clay and lift it up, and you're going to notice I get a really awesome looking natural organic texture. And then what I can do from here is I can tear those edges to create an even cooler looking design. Then what I'll do is on my bowl, I'll just press that onto the side, like so. And then we'll go on and make another one. So I'll take a ball of clay. Again, change your size, change your texture, change your design. What I like to do is I like to see how it looks. Make this one a little bit smaller. So I got my pancake. What I'm going to do, maybe we'll try the tin foil here. Let's see how this works. Hammer that into the clay. Peel that off. Ooh, that looks really awesome. So that gave me a really awesome looking thin texture that should coincide well with my texture that I have on the bowl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tear this. And tear it into different shapes. It doesn't always have to be an oval shape. You can make it smaller, different sizes. That's going to create some really awesome texture and design. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to rest this, and we're going to slip and score that on for our first two pieces. So what are we going to need? We're going to obviously need a spray bottle. What I'm going to do is when I slip and score this on, I'm going to obviously rough up both connecting areas with my needle tool. Spray that connecting area. And what's nice about the textured torn slab is I can just press it on. I don't need to smooth it out. In fact, I don't want to smooth it out. That seam where we have those two pieces connecting, I want to be able to see that. So I'm not going to smooth it in. Okay? What we'll do is at the end, when we're all done, we'll smooth out the inside of the bowl. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and make our third. If you have at home access to a paper towel roll or a toilet paper roll tube, this could make your life a lot easier. Definitely a tool that could be something that could really help you. And I'll show you why in a second. What I can do is I can lay my textures on the clay. I can use my toilet paper roll, and I can actually press those textures into the clay. To get some really neat looking designs. So that's that evergreen bush. You could use leaves. So I'm going to come in here and tear this in. You could even cut out, make it kind of hairy with some texture. Go in and tear that up. So then this one maybe I'll attach there. I'm going to come in and rough that up. Now the biggest thing with this is making sure that you use textures that are interesting, that are unique, right? And stuff that creates heavy looking texture. When we create something that doesn't have heavy looking texture, it's going to eventually kind of fall and smooth itself out the way the clay dries. So then I'm going to come in and press that on like so. So I'm getting this really awesome, natural, organic looking design that creates awesome texture and has a really awesome look to it. The biggest thing with you guys, again, like I can't stress enough, is that you should try to find textures that look interesting. Things that create different effects. And don't just be set on the texture that you find. Try different things and see what they look like first before we go in and really take the time to create this piece. Okay? If you wanted your design to be on the inside of the bowl, what you could do is you could actually go in and instead of doing the outside, I could go ahead and actually ensuring that the inside of this bowl is smooth with the bag, I could take these pieces and press them onto the inside of the bowl. That's a little more challenging. If you're going to do a bowl, I really want you to do the outside and have the design be on the outside of the bowl. So what you'll do is, again, you'll find a structure, a bowl, a plate. I'll turn it upside down, and then I'll affix my pieces all the way around that piece. All right, so that's the process for a textured torn slab bowl. Obviously, I would cover the entire piece. You want to leave it on the bowl until you're completely done, and make sure you wrap it up really nicely when you're still working on it. Don't let it sit out and dry out, because what will happen is this clay will shrink on this bowl. When clay dries, it shrinks. So as it's shrinking on this bowl, the bowl is stronger than the clay at this point. So the bowl's going to maintain its shape, while the clay shrinking will not. It will crack and it will break. So keep your bowl wrapped up all the time while it's on the mold, and then we'll talk later about when we should pull it off of that mold. Okay? Good luck, have fun, find some awesome textures, and get cranking.